Hey, what's going on, Flock? I just want to preface this video by saying we get pretty personal in this one. We actually talk about things that we actually don't ever talk about, and that's our relationship and what we've been dealing with for the past 10 years. So watch through the whole video. We've got to tell a story for the ending to make sense. So just kind of stick with it. You guys can learn a little bit about us and things that we've probably never ever shared before. And yeah, hopefully by the end of it, maybe we'll help some other couples out there. All right. See you at the end. Hello, Flock. We're back doing another dual vlog with Mama Phoenix.
Hi, Flock.
That's a huge bump. It's like a curb. Well, I guess we got to go over the curb. All right. So, Mama Phoenix, how do you feel about the purchase of the Spider?
Well, at first I was hesitant. I didn't think I would get into it as much as I did, but I've really gotten into it, and like it's like a fun hobby, and I honestly think that it saved our marriage. I mean, we were already in a point of doing good, but I definitely think that this helped.
Basically, we've been married since 2009. See, I remembered. So that's a long time. I'll put the math up on the screen because I don't feel like doing it right now.
Well, we were supposed to get married in 2010, this summer, but we got pregnant.
Oh, you got pregnant?
Well, you got me pregnant. And we moved the wedding up to November of 2009 so that we could have the baby the following, supposed to be May, but he came in April.
So if you do all of the math, we got married, had a baby, and moved out of the house all within 6 months. So because we moved everything up, we had no place to go, so we lived with your parents.
Right, we had an apartment for like the first month, and then we moved in with my parents because I got sick.
I'm talking about before that. When we first got married, we had nowhere to go. We didn't have anything. But yeah, then we got an apartment, and then you got sick. I think we were there for a couple months. So, and that was right around when Mini Phoenix was born.
Yes. He was born in April, I got sick in July. And I spent that summer in and out of the hospital.
It was pretty much always in the hospital. And I had a IT contracting field job at the time where I was working 50 to 60 hours on the road. And I was still doing that up until she was actually admitted into the hospital.
Yeah, thank God for my parents for helping with the baby. Because I don't know what we would have done without them.
Because, like at that point, I was the only one working. We needed the money, and I was making really good money doing field work. So, but contrary to that, I was never home.
So things started getting tense at home. I think the following year we started marriage counseling, right?
I think so, yeah.
We did that for a couple of years. We stopped because I kept getting sick again. Yeah, when Andrew was 2, I had the shingles. I was really sick again, still living at my parents' house. No, he was like 1.5. Because when he was 2, my dad bought the house next door so that we could go live there, next door to them, so that they could still be close by and help out whenever they need to. And
yeah, and still throughout that, not only with all that other stuff going on, my body was just breaking down from all the years of just abuse, and I ended up just being on painkillers the whole time, so that did not help the situation.
You know, we were kind of just like, for a while we were kind of just roommates, you know, like I'm exhausted from the baby, from being sick. Black Phoenix is exhausted from working, taking care of the baby, taking care of me. it was like two roommates, you know.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said too, and that's exactly what we brought up in counseling. It's like, she's so sick that it's like we're not having a relationship. It's me taking care of her and Mini Phoenix, well, and working on top of that. But luckily we got you under control after a while. And I think just also, but a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff that people just don't see. Like, it happens in every relationship. Like you put on like this persona outside when you go to parties and events and stuff like that, but in the house it's a totally different thing. I don't think anyone had a goddamn clue what was going on. Like, no, honestly, we're still really good at it. We can fight all the way to a party and hate each other, while and walk into that party like we just, like, you know, hip hip the diddly do.
Right.
So I don't know if that's good or bad that we're really good at that, but I mean, I guess that's a life skill, if you call it that. This guy's
ooh, a giant chicken. So we went to counseling. We were there for like 2 years. We stopped. I got sick. When I started feeling better, we went to a different counselor. We were there for a few years. She was awesome. She really helped us. You know, like, it was hard. It was really hard. We broke up like, what, 3 times you moved out?
Yeah. And it's not just like, I think some people are just like, oh, Ryan's just being a dick. It wasn't like a couple of those times was absolutely needed for me to leave. Like, or else it just, like, nothing would have been saved.
No, and at the time I was like, no, you can't leave me, blah, blah, blah. But now that I look back, it was kind of like good. So he can get his perspective, I can get my perspective. You know, we can refresh our lives for a few days or a week or whatever. Nothing ever lasted more than a month. It was usually like a week or 2.
And I think some people are afraid to do that. Like, they think like a separation is like, oh, that's it, it's done. It doesn't have to be that.
No, I mean, when we did it kind of, like, in our minds, it was done.
But we still talked every single day. Like, it went back from being roommates back to dating. It's like, oh, we call each other every night.
Yeah, like he would call me every single night to check up on the baby, see how he's doing. He asked how I was doing. You know, he still went with me to doctor's appointments if I needed him. Yeah, we were pretty much dating again. Except now we had a baby. We graduated, that's what our counselor said. We graduated from counseling, I want to say like 3 years ago, maybe 4. Maybe 3. And I think, no, maybe 4, because I've had my pump for 3 years. Yeah. And, yeah, we've been doing really good. You know, Ryan's still taking care of me. Still taking care of our little one, who's not little anymore. Always providing, always putting us ahead of himself, which we always appreciated, but he just needed something for himself, like a hobby for himself. And he tried golfing, but you can't golf when it's raining, you can't golf in the winter. You need to have like 3-4 hours.
Right, and it's tough to golf like by yourself all the time.
Right, it's boring. So, you know, we were actually at an ice cream shop one time, and we saw some people on a couple of spiders, so we were like, oh, those are cool. And we were like looking at them, and he's like, oh, those are so cool. He went home, he researched them, and after that we just started talking like, hey, what if I got one? Like, alright, well, I'm not gonna ride it because I'm scared of motorcycles, but you know, I wasn't thrilled about the idea. Then we went to the shop, which he was like, we're just gonna go look at them, which anyone knows us, if we say we're just gonna go look at something, it means we're gonna buy it. So we went look at it, And he was like, I really love it. I can afford the payments. You know, he did the math. And I was like, fine. Oh, there's a deer. He's like, if can I get it? And I was like, you can get it if I can get a kitten. And he's like, sold. You'll get your cat and I'll get the bike. We actually got them on the same day. We went pick up the bike, came home, and we got the...
Yep, all in the same day. So that's like the gist of it. There's other, like, on both of our sides, there's other details of, like, the battles that we both went through, which is probably just going to end up being, like, 2 totally separate videos if it comes to that. But it's just like a really, like, wide angle view kind of what we had to go through, and we're still here.
Right, and the whole topic of how the bike saved us is we didn't really have things that we did together before. Like, he likes golf, he likes cars, I like animals, I like going out to eat. Like, we never had something like this. And now that I've gotten used to the bike, it's just something that we can be like, hey, let's go for a ride around the beach. Let's go for a ride and get ice cream. You know, Mini Phoenix has gotten really into it. He loves going on the bike too. He'll come home and tell me all about it. All the cars he saw, all the bikes he saw, people that waved at him. And, you know, now we're vlogging and, you know, like, just watching the videos sometimes, the YouTube videos, I'll watch them and not have seen them before, and I learn stuff about my husband because he kind of opens up when he's talking.
I guess I'm done doing this for now on. See you guys. Done. All done.
No. But like, you know, it's hard for him to open up to me sometimes, and I feel like when he's by himself and he's just talking, it's easy. And you know, like I said, I'll watch the videos and I'm like, oh wow, like I didn't know that. Oh wow, I didn't realize that. And it's helped us. Then I can go to him and be like, hey, I saw your video. You said this, this, and that. Let's talk about it. And we're able to have open conversations. Yeah, we're definitely doing a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's helped that your health is under control and I've cleaned myself up. I think those are the 2 major things that really, when you put all of that together, it's a mess for anybody.
And don't get us wrong, we still fight. You know, who doesn't? If you're married, you can't tell me that you never ever get into a fight. That's a lie.
Portuguese woman's calling you guys out.
Yes. Trust me, I've seen some fights. But we're a lot better at not letting it linger for a week. We're better at, you know, if we get into a really bad fight, he'll be like, I'm gonna go for a ride on Spider. I'll be like, alright. He'll go. And when he comes back, you know, his mind is clear, my mind is clear. We're actually able to sit down and be like, hey, this is what happened. This is what I think. Let's come to a solution. And, you know, they say the first 5 years are the hardest. I think our first...
Yeah, because we didn't have a first year or really a second year of marriage. It was all her in the hospital. With a baby on top of that, so...
Living at my parents. In their old bedroom. You know, our bedrooms were across from each other. With a baby in our room. You know, it wasn't easy. But we did it. We fought some hard battles that now we can look back and, I guess, laugh at.
Is that what we're going to do? Laugh at them? So, yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. And this whole YouTube motovlogging thing, it just kind of happened. Like, I had no plans on doing it before I got the Spider. It was just like, hey, I want a Spider to ride around in. And then I started surfing YouTube and seeing people doing this. And I was like, I can do that. You know, I've done editing before, I've been in front of a camera, done acting, theater, all that type of stuff. I'm like, I can totally do this. That's a huge house. So, and I think I have had some comments too of people saying that my stuff is really good, and a couple people have even questioned, hey, did you take, editing or anything like that? It's like, yes and no, but that's a whole separate video. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's really helped putting skills that I've had, that I've learned in my life to use, finally.
I asked him that the other day. I said, where did you learn how to edit? He's like, I don't know. I just learned. Like, oh, okay.
So that's our sunset. You can see the water in the background here. So this is it. This is not what the Spider looked like when I bought it, but it's what it looks like now. And yeah, it's something I got her a helmet. I just said, hey, you're going to ride it, and we've been riding together ever since. So in conclusion, buy a motorcycle. And a cat. Buy a motorcycle and a cat. So if you're single and you buy a motorcycle, you'll get a woman, and eventually she might come with a cat. So, and if you're not single and you're dating or you're married, it'll definitely help your marriage. And you might end up with a cat. Alright, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek into us, the Blackphoenix Entertainment family. Alright, we'll see you guys on the next one.